High pattern predictions looking out to the next 2 weeks here at 1 degree outside. Of course, you can get the 14-day forecast anytime on our app. Noises 1 degree outside weather. But why does it look the way it does? It's one thing to see the data. It's another thing to actually understand why that forecast is shaping up and kind of understand what might change. Look, bottom line in the forecast pattern is we're going to continue to get a jet stream trough. A trough is when the jet stream takes a dip. Remember what I always tell you, that the jet stream is the fast river of air high in the sky that steers our storm systems, but also separates cool air to the north from warmer air to the south. So here's all your warmth that's down across the southern United States, and here we are very much on the cool side of the jet stream. Even at the end of this week, renewed energy comes into play at the jet stream level. We do it again as we head into the upcoming weekend. Now, in between these rounds of energy, you do start to turn a wind out of the south. You can get into a little bit more warmth. You do have to watch out too, because every time you get into that southerly wind deep through the atmosphere, you're opening the door to the tropics and allowing something to rub the eastern seaboard. The nice thing about a pattern like this is those windows of opportunity are very limited and very short, because usually you've got more northern energy coming into play, which is forecast to happen yet again as we head into next week. No real major change to the pattern here getting into a week from today. We go out through next week, more rounds of energy dropping down from Canada, keeping us into a pattern then that really doesn't allow for prolonged warmth. You'll get some warmth every time you start to ease the jet stream to the north a little, but you're not going to get a prolonged period of significant heat to build back in. Notice again, though, what I was talking about. This is now as we get out to Saturday the 24th, looking toward the end of that 14-day period, you're opening that door to the tropics again. You're getting southerly wind. So all this is stuff that you watch, because every time the door opens, you want to be sure that there's nothing there that can be ushered northward in that wind. In other words, a tropical storm or a hurricane, right? In terms of the surface map, look, I can put the temperatures on here, the oranges, the reds, that's where you've got your 80s and 90s. And what you'll see is here at home, we keep getting the incursions of Canadian air that come in. There are going to be some days when you look out at the next 14 days that are actually going to be somewhat on the cool side compared to what we've had and what we've become accustomed to. There will be other days that will still be able to make it up into the 80s. And you can see that even happens this week. That happens again as we get into the upcoming weekend and again for next week. And you see what I mean about no prolonged heat that shows up in the forecast period, right? Okay, the other thing here is the dew point temperature. It starts out very comfortable, obviously, at the beginning of this week. It slowly but steadily climbs as we head through the end of the week into the weekend. Then when that new round of energy starts coming in and we get into next week and we dig that trough again, you start to get some more comfort that comes back on for us. In terms of precipitation chances, basically every time you reload the boat, every time you reload the trough in the jet stream, you raise that chance of showers. So you've done that at the beginning of this week. You do it again for a bit as we get toward the end of the week on Thursday. You do it again coming out of the weekend into early next week. And then in between, as you get the drier, kind of cooler, more comfortable air, that brings down that chance of precipitation a bit. In terms of the tropics, I already mentioned the fact that Ernesto is one that we're going to be watching this week. I got to tell you, though, there's a big plume of Saharan dust that's coming out behind it. That's why if you look at the National Hurricane Center forecast for what's coming up, you don't see anything behind the potential Ernesto right now. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I think that will at least quiet it down for a bit. Again, for us, it's all about when those windows open. Reminder, if you want to see the 14-day anytime and get that data, you can do that, right? It's at the App Store. It's on Google Play. Just search Noises, 1 degree outside weather. That's our pattern predictions. That's your next 2 weeks. See you again in a little bit.